routine, and you don't start deciding things on your own, and you don't say, oh, I don't trust this rabbi's morals, and I'm just going to do it my own way. That is lehefik, that's the opposite of Judaism, and that is just total heresy, and I don't know why you're preaching that during our show, because that's just grotesque. Then the next point is that you said that the State of Israel. The State of Israel was created by people who are not Torah observant, and the only Torah observant people that were involved in it were people who were following what was actually heresy. So it was built on heresy and people who were anti-Torah. So to go ahead and say, see, they went ahead and built it, that was a good thing, no. According to halacha, according to Judaism, that should never have been built. And it's unfortunate that the State of Israel was built. Now that it's built, we have to deal with it. We don't tear it down because, I mean, there's Jews who live there, and it's a fact. But if you're going to talk to me in 1944, I would tell you, do not build this thing. It goes against the Torah. Everyone would say that to you. And it's a good. It should not have been built.
So, Genesis chapter 27, verse 43, Rivka tells Yaakov, my son, flee to my brother Lavan and remain with him
Lavan.
there a short while. It actually says a few days. So this is just another example of how when the Torah says day, it doesn't mean necessarily always a 24-hour period. She wasn't saying make this long journey and go stay with him for 4 or 5 days. She meant go stay with him for a while until Esau settles down.
Oh God, is this just like one heretical thing after another? Are you trying to get on my nerves tonight? You're gonna like say a day could actually be 1 billion years and dinosaurs can run around and all that. You know, it's like let's have you know, let's do the romper room thing now, and like I'll bring out all my big guns and I'll talk to you about how the Torah allows for the State of Israel and dinosaurs and all kinds of heretical nonsense. I'm Levi Ford and I approve of this message.
Abraham and Isaac live on many years kind of after their narrative ends. Like they're not like big actors in the Torah. Like I think Abraham lives on 35 years and Isaac lives on quite a while. So like, you know, you and I, we could live on another 60 years, but as far as like active time to like do something, we've probably got like 20 or so to get something going. Because like Abraham lived on like last 35 years, you know, we don't learn anything about his life. It's not like acting in the Torah. And Isaac lives on, you know, for ages, even though he's blind and his son Yaakov goes running off. They live on, and Torah, meaning the book of Genesis, doesn't tell us, you know, what they were doing for those few decades. So like, you know, the twilight years are coming on, Rabbs, so we've got to get it going now. We're going to be stuck in our twilight years where, yeah, we're still alive, but we're not actually doing anything.
I can talk to that. You ready?
Yeah.
I think I stopped. I'm already past. I'm dead. Right? You know, it's like I came to that realization that I'm at the end of days, and it's just like maintenance mode. When my engagement ended, I'm just spinning my wheels.
You're running out the clock.
I'm on the clock now. It's like, you know.
You're just running out the clock, running the ball up the middle.
No, it's just like
every down, just up the middle, off tackle.
No, it's like this. We're down 50-0. We know there's not enough time to come back. We're probably aren't going to score a touchdown. The rest of this game is over. Okay, it's like it's painful for us to play. It's painful for you to watch. Right? It's like the crowd's left at this point. We don't even want to be here, except like we're forced to because of our contracts, you know. And that's it. You know, my life ended on Memorial Day weekend 2009. That's it. It was done. And I'm no, you know, like if this was like I wouldn't be mentioned after that point. It would be like, oh, and then here's the.
Here's Levi, and he's about to get married and have 6 kids and hot wife.
I worry about your kids.
Why?
It's what you like talked about before, where you said like, you know, you're gonna have like all these wives. This is like your goals. Like you want all these wives, and and you were okay with that, and there's going to be some wives, and they're just going to have their kids, and they're going to bring them up, and I'm like, well, aren't you involved in your kids? I was thinking this to myself afterwards. Aren't you involved in your kids? Because if you're not, then you're just neglecting your kids, and if you're going to neglect your kids, you shouldn't have any.
I'll say, hey kids, come on, it's time for Torah talk. Gather around. Let me turn on the live cam.
And then are you going to confuse your kids and tell them, like, you know...
Here's the JPS commentary.
Here's the JPS commentary. Here's the King
the
James.
Outro.
Here's the King James version of the Bible, kids. And these are the holy books I want you to read. And
check out these other religions so that you're ecumenical.
Yeah,
you know how to interact with Muslims and Catholics.
Yeah, we want you to be ecumenical and
have you hugged a Muslim today, kids?
What's that word with philosophical? I forgot what it was. You know, epistemology.
Yeah, epistemology.
What's your epistemology, kids? And you know, you're gonna do all this with them, and then you're gonna, like, where are you gonna send them to school, to like some conservative day school or something?
Temple Beth Am.
Temple Beth Am. You know, it's like, you're going to send them there because you know more, and you have better standards than the rabbis. You know, you have better morals than them. And then, you know, you're going to send them to, oh, I know what you're going to send them to. You're going to send them to Milken so that they can shoulder rubbed elbows with, you know, Prager's kids. And then, you know, because that's like,
get into that filmmaking program.
That's the real, you know, Derek. And then, you know, I pity your kids.
You've got
right
some
now.
Concerns about.
I've got some concerns. I want to see you actually immerse yourself in Judaism. You talk about that you have, but you
Live
don't.
in the Torah corral.
You don't, because you know you're sitting there, you know, spewing all this Dennis Prager stuff every day. You must spend hours listening to this guy every day.
Is that bad?
Why aren't you listening to, like, you know, Rabbi? If you're going to be listening to somebody, listen to like Rabbi Fran tapes or Rabbi Miller tapes or something like that, you know, but you're listening to all this Prager nonsense all day long, and I saw he doesn't even have it right about politics. This guy doesn't even. I don't get it. This guy is wrong on politics. You know what he wrote? You know what you quoted him on your website as saying? He's saying that, oh, there's a marked difference between Meg Whitman and Jerry Brown, and everybody who's Republican, who has true Republican, should vote for Meg Whitman. You know what I have to say?
What do you have to say?
I could prove to you that I could take the two on a blind test between Meg Whitman and Jerry Brown. You would not know who was who, right? I would take their names away, go through the positions, tell you what they hold on. You would not know who was who. They are that close to each other. The only difference is one has an R and one has a D. And to be honest, I don't know why Meg Whitman is running as an R. She really is a D. She is a D. For anyone to say, we need to vote for her as a Republican, is someone who either doesn't know the issues or someone who doesn't have true conservative values. The true conservative running tomorrow, is Shalene Nightingale, and she's running on the American Independent ticket. And if I didn't already vote Libertarian, I would vote for her. If you are a true conservative, and you don't want to see a rhino win the election tomorrow, and you don't want to see somebody who supported Barbara Boxer in 2004, somebody who supported the Obama stimulus plan, who supported the bailouts, who was against SB 1070 in Arizona, who was against 187 here in California, who refuses to do anything about immigration, who favors Obama's viewpoints on immigration, who said about Van Jones, who's an outright self-admitted communist, that she thinks that he's got it right and that he's a genius, then you should never vote for Meg Whitman.
Whoa. Whoa. That was powerful. I mean, I've already voted. I voted Republican always.
This is the problem with...
I'd vote for Goofy if Goofy...
Yeah, if I brought you a bag of used condoms, you'd vote for it if I ran it as a Republican.
Yeah.
This is my problem with party politics. I will never join a political party. You can quote me on that. I will never join one. Because when you vote party line, you vote for crap that has... if you really checked under the hood, you would never be part of that. And I don't want to be aligned with a party that nominates somebody against their values, and then they tell me that I need to support them when they